Welcome back. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different from my channel's content. I'm going to do an unboxing and review and assembly of this Greenstell laundry hamper cart. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't get any monetization from this, but I just figured because things are getting so ridiculously expensive, it's hard to know and get honest reviews that I figured I'd do one here since I have no affiliation. Now I will put an Amazon affiliate link below for this cart. It does not change the price whatsoever. It actually gives me a little bit of a percentage of the normal cost that you'd pay for it. So if you're interested after watching this video, go ahead and check it out below. And lastly, we'll just go over some specs of this thing. I paid about $100. It was like $96.80 after everything was said and done. So obviously, if you're going to spend that kind of money, you want to know you're getting something worthwhile that's going to last you. Now, it's made in China, so take that with what you will, but let's get into it. You can see here the box comes in at 35 inches tall, about 15 high, and 4 inches deep. And it looks like the box comes in at about 20 pounds, 21 pounds. Tools will also be linked in the description below. Okay, so I did it this way, opened the box this way so I could not work on the tile here directly, just because I never like to work on whatever. I'd always prefer to work on the cardboard. So the first thing I noticed is there's this mesh material on the top. It is hard, but just be aware that, you know, if you're really pushing hard, you might be able to puncture something there. So just be careful. I think this is the top shelf of the cart. I mean, it's kind of dinky, but you know, for $90, what can you expect? All right, so here we are a few minutes later. Got everything sticker side up just so I can easily see the parts. Got my parts bag right there. I did notice here on the side rails, I can't tell if the channel is bent or not. They both look the same but funky, so we'll see about that. Hopefully we don't have to replace it, but here we go. So here's the hardware we're working with. Fortunately, everything's labeled in baggies. So as you can see here, this one here on the left, top left is 1, middle is 3 and 5. It gives you some spare parts, which is always nice, especially if something breaks or is lost. You have backups and some more tools here. Pretty straightforward. Assemble the frame. Now the next two pieces that go above these bottom support bars are these ones. So we have E here that has 2 holes on the bottom, and then we have D that has 4 holes. So just make sure you put E in the front and D in the back. All right, E in the front, holes down. All right, so I've already made my first mistake that I fixed off camera. The wheels need to go in the front, so wheels face E. So just remember that. So we have E here, we have our 2 wheels, and now I put F underneath. Now we got it flipped upside down. Put these casters on. They're fine. I mean, they're decent. You could put a little grease in here just to help them swivel a little bit nicer and quietly, but they're fine. Now that we have everything basically on, we can tighten up all the screws that hold the frame in place. So you might be wondering what the heck these panels here are for, and that's to go on the bottom of each bag to keep them open, basically as wide as possible, which I think is a nice touch. However, I have two concerns. The biggest of them being these bags are fairly weak. I mean, compared to some of the other baskets I've had, they feel kind of weak. So I'm concerned that as you put weight on this, these sharp corners will just rip the bag. So honestly, what I think I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna round them off just a hair so that these sharp points don't harm the bottom of the bag. Because we don't need any, this thing to prematurely wear any more than it already probably will. So I'm gonna sand these just a little bit, the corners here. As you can see, these edges are a little sharp, so I'm just gonna round them off. Here's the sharp edge before, and here's after. And I kid you not, it takes seconds. I use 120 grit sandpaper, and watch how quick this process is. "10 seconds, you're done." So here's the final product, all assembled, screws tightened around the frame. It's 29.5 inches long. It's about 37 inches tall, and it's 13 inches deep. The drawers pull out slightly, which I guess is nice if you just want to throw your clothes in, and then if you need to take it out to do the laundry, you can just rock it back and forth, and then you're ready to go. Slide it back in, and it rolls in. As far as the size, you're looking at about a little bit less than 12 inches, maybe 11.5. And then about 12, it's about 12 by 12, just roughly speaking. And then the height of the bag is 18 inches. So kind of a small volume there, probably good for maybe one person, two people. You might be running out of room before the week's up if that's how often you do your laundry. But I would definitely say for, if you're living by yourself, this might actually work kind of nicely for you, fit everything, no problem. I've already talked about that mesh top here. It's not that strongest, so I would suggest putting something lighter on here. It's kind of flimsy, as you can see. It flexes. This area down here is a little bit tall, more sturdy since it has those screws holding it in place. You're looking at about I'd say about 6.5 inches, 6 3/4 inches clearance there. So just keep that in mind. And maybe if you want to tuck some shoes back there, or I think in the picture they have like vases and stuff. So I don't know, up to you. As I showed you before, there's 2 locking casters and 2 rigid casters. So keep that in mind that, it does take a little bit of maneuvering to get it in the place you want, but you can lock it in place so it doesn't roll away from you. Here, it comes with, I guess like a tie rack or belt rack or something that you can easily move and switch sides. So 4 little spots there to hang your ties and whatnot. So if you like tools, you get a little collection of tools here. You can't use a different size wrench because you need something very thin to get around the casters. So just keep that in mind. As much as I wish I could use something a little bit bigger for my hands, you need this very skinny one so that you can tighten the casters. So if you get this laundry cart, or if you've already gotten it, please put your feedback down below. Any thoughts or comments that you have, just to help other viewers feel informed. Again, I want to give an honest review. I think it's great for someone that's, again, living by themselves or doesn't produce a lot of laundry. But if you're, holding more laundry than one person, I would say that this probably is a little too small. I don't know, the cart looks good. I mean, it's a very hip looking cart, so it's nice. The wheels roll really well. It's not too loud as far as I can tell, kind of rolling it back and forth, which is, you know, a pro or con, especially if you're living with roommates. Build quality is all right. I mean, it's not the worst, but you know, for $100, I'd hope to get something a little bit nicer. I'll show you some of just the spot little welds that they've done, which it'd be nicer if they weld the whole thing, but you know, for $100, you're not you're not paying for all those welds, I guess. So yeah, again, comments, questions, leave them below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.